back with take 2. I think it should be take 2 on thanks. So we're ready to play Battlefront. Alright, so we're back on take 2 with GeForce Now. The first one did not go very well. It started to glitch pretty spectacularly. So we're going to fire this off again. So we are going to run a stream of GeForce Now running Call of Duty Modern Warfare. To rehash it, this computer is running a Core i7 7th Gen with Core i7 7th Gen with my buddy just texted me, I think he froze. I don't know, we just restarted. So we're running a Core i7 7th Gen with a 1070, GTX 1070, which, for those of you that know, can run ray tracing, sort of, I guess. GeForce and NVIDIA did release the update to allow it to kind of run ray tracing light, would probably be the way to say it, because it does tax it pretty heavily. It makes it to where the processor has to think overtime, or the GPU has to think overtime. So it's not the best thing to do to the 1070, especially with the, with everything going on. So the first one was an utter failure. We are going to try again. So we're going to launch Call of Duty Modern Warfare, which, as you know, supports RTX on, or ray tracing, and we're going to run it with ray tracing on, full pop through NVIDIA GeForce Now, which is a streaming service that NVIDIA runs and allows you to play awesome games on any PC, that, whether it supports it or not. So, stupid. So it wants me to type in a code here. You gotta love it. Since it's only one-time use code, I don't really care if you guys see it. Alright, so we're going to try this again. So we're back. Call of Duty Modern Warfare in NVIDIA GeForce Now. As you can see, the background has changed a little bit to the honeycomb pattern, which tells you that you are no longer playing on your PC. You are now playing on their sites. And it started an update. Great. So you're no longer playing on your PC. You're playing on their data centers, which I ran I guess I'll show that later. I did run a benchmark on Ghost Recon Wildlands, and it kind of showed some interesting stats and equipment that they're running inside their data centers, but that is for another video, I imagine. So, here we are launching Call of Duty. Take 2. The first time around, it froze on the beginning cutscene, which was disappointing to say the least. I'll post that video on YouTube to our channel, The Baker Bunch. So we're jumping right back into it. Here we go. You guys won't hear any sound from the game, and that's on purpose because we're not focusing on the sound. We're focusing on the video and the lag with which we are experiencing currently in just the beginning opening credits here, which is interesting. So we're going to see if we can connect. So it does say up top, again, this is the first, well, it's now the second time I've launched it. hopefully it'll be the first time we actually go in and play it, because the first time I wasn't able to. So it is the first time that we're trying to go in and play. The first time we had issues connecting to online servers. I don't know if I said this already, but we've got gigabit service here. This computer is hardwired in. I ran a speed test earlier. This is the same thing we got last time. It was connection failed. So we're going to retry it again and see if we can get this done. Alright, so fetching online profile. So obviously, in the beginning, maybe it takes some time to, maybe you have to do it twice to get in on NVIDIA. So we're going to go to the options here. If it will let us go to the options. There we go. Alright. So we're going to go, I'm just going to use a mouse. It's not going to let me. There it goes. Alright, so we're going to go to the graphics side. Man, I clicked on that when you saw the mouse go over graphics. You see that? Highlighted there. Interesting. Look at that. That's taken a while. Alright, so see, we have a display adapter for a Tesla T10. We're going to roll with that. Screen refresh rate is not technically 60. My screen refresh will go a lot faster than that. But apparently that's what we're stuck at here. 1080p resolution, which is interesting. Let's go all the way up. I mean, we are playing on NVIDIA's thing right now, right? Let's get crazy. Aspect ratio is fine. We'll V-sync this whole thing. Unlimited frame rate, right? Good there. NVIDIA highlights are enabled. Texture resolution is high. It's as high as it goes there. It's as high as it goes there. Enable that. And we're going to go with all there. Shadows, extra. Enabled. Alright, so we got ray tracing enabled. Super exciting there. Let's go with both there. We're just going to go as high as we possibly can. I don't particularly care for that, so I'm just going to leave that off. I don't think it really matters. Motion blur. We'll do it. I don't really want it film grand. Alright, so I think we've got it all set to as high as it can possibly go, right? So we're going to go ahead and apply those settings, and we're going to hit the campaign. Yeah, we got some mature content here. How long is it going to take us to load shaders on NVIDIA's servers here? Alright, so I'm not entirely sure which one we would want to. Where do you suppose? It's probably at the very beginning, right? Are we going back the right way? We're not. We're going to the end, aren't we? Let's go all the way to the beginning, shall we? We're going to go to Piccadilly Square. Fun one. But I think that this may give us some cool lights to play with, especially being in the kind of the city area. It'll kind of highlight whether RTX is fully working on a computer that does not, in fact, support it through NVIDIA's GeForce Now service. So, again, if you're just tuning in because we've now just fired up the game after completing the settings and all the graphic setups and things of that nature, we are playing NVIDIA GeForce Now on a computer that is running we're playing NVIDIA GeForce Now, which is a streaming service on a computer that will not run ray tracing to the extent that a that an RTX card would be able to. So I'm running a i7 7th gen with a GTX 1070. I am going to attempt to skip this, but it will not let me. And yes, I am using a controller on Call of Duty on PC, so let the berating from my one follower start. Come on, people. It's not letting me skip this cutscene, guys. So, while this cutscene goes, again, we're playing GeForce Now, and with it streaming to my computer I did pick the South data center, the South location. Given that I am in the South in Texas, I figured that was probably appropriate. In the beginning, however, it did set me up in the Midwest, which was a little bit strange, or Central U.S., which was a little strange. I felt that was further away, and I did get some bad test results when I first fired up GeForce Now because of it. So be aware, if you do GeForce Now, you may want to look at which center it's got you set to, because it most definitely did not set me to the one that would have been the most beneficial. But once I changed that, the test came back fine, and I was able to fire it up and get that going. So, I guess distance, come on, why am I still in... Alright, so it seems that the first issues that we had were maybe one-shot deals, because what is going on here? It is not letting me use the controller. So let's try and see if we can... Alright, so I guess we're going to have to use the controller, or the keyboard and mouse. So as we can see, we've got some reflections going on here. Graphics look good. It's pretty tight. The motion is good. Move to the right, move to the left, move to the right, move to the left. Go forward, go backwards. So we don't have a whole lot of latency that I can feel anyway. So this all looks good and smooth, and here we go for the explosion, right? Alright, so now we're going to have some fire added to the mix. Let's see what that does. Alright, so now I normally play with a controller, so I haven't done this with a keyboard and mouse in a while. There we go. So fire looks pretty good, right? All that stuff looks nice. No lag, no latency. I'm on fire. No latency that I can feel or see right now, as you can tell. So we'll go ahead and push on. Now I don't see the reflections that I expected to see in all this. We just killed a civilian, I believe. So we don't, oh shoot, okay, it's not shooting at me. So as we watch these guys run by, we should, oh yeah, there was some good reflection right there in that puddle. See if we can see ourselves. Come on. Yes, I know, I'm in the middle of a game here. So, all in all, I mean, I'm kind of impressed here at what they've been able to do. Let's see if we can get some decent stuff here to see if RTX is really going. But it certainly feels like it and looks like it to a certain extent. We got any reflections on that card at all? Not really, no. How about on these windows, huh? It did say RTX on, right? I don't know if I'm missing something here, but it certainly just kind of looks like it's always looked. At least when I ran it. Oh, there we go. All right, so here we got some reflections going here. Oh, getting hit again. Where's he coming from? Is he open the window there? All right, stand by. Let's get rid of this. They're obviously not going to let us. Oh, they're obviously not going to let us do this. If we don't go ahead and kill these guys here. I did set on recruit on purpose, so that way we can just blow through this if we have to. There's our guys. Alright, so we definitely see some difference in the way the light hits and how it behaves, which is nice. If I can use the controller now, it's much more comfortable to do that. No, of course not. Alright, so ultimately on the second go around of GeForce Now, it's gone a lot smoother, as well as I completely missed that guy, didn't I? It's gone a lot smoother, a lot less latency, a lot less lagging, no freezing at all. Ultimately pretty good, and you can see that ray tracing is in fact in effect here. You can see the yellow reflection from his jacket there and how he moves. Look at that. Alright, yeah, that's nice. Who's shooting me? Was that you? You can see the reflection from that giant sign there. And ultimately, it's very, very playable. Now, it didn't sense my controller, which was a little bit disheartening, so I don't know if that's a GeForce Now thing or if that's a setting thing that I don't see, but I don't think so. So at any rate, overall, it looks pretty good. A little suicide bomber there. He's gonna blow it up. All right, perfect. So, no lag, no latency that I can feel now on our second launch. And ultimately, ray tracing does seem to be on with the graphics as high as possible, and my computer's not going crazy. It's super quiet because it's not actually doing any work. It is this that's doing all the work in GeForce Now as we stream this. And it does look great. This is awesome. And my computer definitely would not be able to render all of this at the same time. It just wouldn't be able to do it. That was a civilian I just shot in the head. So, on that note, well, yeah, that seems like a pretty decent time to end that. Alright, so, as you can see, GeForce Now. So to exit, you just exit. So one of the other things that you can do, you can play Minecraft. Fun times, right? All the Ubisoft games. So there are a few games that you can play in here. It is much more versatile than Stadia because it allows you to play anything from Steam, anything from Ubisoft, and anything from Blizzard so far. And I say anything from Steam, it doesn't let you play everything from Steam. I guess while we're here, we might as well launch Steam and show you what it looks like. So where Stadia or even the Xbox streaming service are limited currently, and the Xbox streaming service is nice, don't get me wrong, they have some phenomenal games on there, and it operates really well. You can only play on Android phones currently. So it does limit it a little bit, well, significantly, on who can play and what that looks like for most people. If you have an iPhone, you're just out, which you shouldn't have an iPhone, but whatever. So here we are on Steam, right? And then you've got Stadia, which, let's face it, is a huge disappointment for everybody who ordered it. It was touted as something that it never actually became. And I got the Founders Edition. I was one of the first ones to order it, and I still play every once in a while. Mostly I just hand it to my daughter because she likes to play sitting, laying in bed on watching the TV. And that's about the only thing that makes that one a little bit different, is you can play from TV or from a Google Home Hub or something along those lines. This one, however, what makes it different is you can play mobile on a phone or something along those lines, provided you have a controller attached. And you can play on PC, Mac, anything like that. You can't play from your TV unless you have the that little box, whatever it's called, the shield. So anyway, so in Steam. So you launch Steam as an app, and you see Steam as you would familiarly see Steam. And you can load games through here. So, for example, Grand Theft Auto 5. Wow. It was not supported just a second ago. Like earlier today when I went on here. And it looks like it currently is, which is super exciting. Elite Dangerous. So let's find a game that is not supported. DCS World was not supported. Where did that go? It's in alphabetical order. There we go. So when you see, install takes 0 time at all when you're in a video now. So if I install this, it'll tell me that this is required. I say next. Oh, DCS Steam Edition is not supported. So you will get a couple games that'll come back and say that it is not supported, an error occurred, and it'll kick you back out. But not a huge ordeal, considering what is supported. It seems to be significantly more than what is not. Let's see if we can show you what it looks like when you install a game. So for those of you who've installed games on Steam to your PC before, everybody knows it does take some time depending on your internet connection. And like I said, I do have a gigabit connection. However, we know that that's not instantaneous no matter what. So this is telling me 39 minutes and 35 seconds at 31 megabits a second, right? So we'll hit next. Let's see if it's actually supported. Preparing to install. And it is a little bit longer than most of the other games. But it's pretty quick, nevertheless. And it's done. So to install games, because you're going to have to reinstall all the games that you have installed on your own PC on GeForce Now, seems to sound like it's going to suck, but it really doesn't. I mean, it's pretty quick. So let's see a squad. Let's install squad real quick and see if that works. So I'll install squad here. I agree. Yep. Creating files. Oh, not supported. Okay. Well, there you have it. Let's see what's a good one that we can try that has some. Let's see. If squad's not supported, I don't think Postscriptum will be either, but we'll give it a shot. Oh, that was quick. That was all it took. I mean, literally a second, maybe 2. And Postscriptum's ready to go, and you're ready to play it, which is impressive from anybody's standards, obviously. I mean, it just takes no time at all to get these games installed. So you've got quicker installs. You've got access to 3 different libraries that I found so far, which has been Steam, Ubisoft, and Blizzard. So it's much more versatile as far as the libraries that you have access to. And as you saw earlier with us streaming Call of Duty Modern Warfare, it did what my computer couldn't do. It had full graphics all the way up with ray tracing on a recent AAA game, which an i7 7th gen with a GTX 1070 would never be able to do. All for $5 a month, or the first 3 months free. The first 3 months free currently. So I'm impressed. Now I will post this video as well as the first video where GeForce Now failed us, and it aired out like crazy to our YouTube channel, the Baker Bunch. Perhaps I will put a link in my Twitch channel back to that for my 1 or 2 followers that I have to go look at that as well if they want to take a look later. So, I hope you enjoyed GeForce Now. A little quick demo here. We'll exit currently. And boom, we're back to our normal PC. Back to OBS. OBS Studios because I lack a second monitor here. And we will see you guys later.